So far, the Chinese government has illegally detained 1 million Uyghurs, and they're well on their way to wiping out the entire Uyghur culture. If you give me a second, I can explain what's happening. Firstly, who are the Uyghurs? They are China's Muslim minority and they live in the region of Xinjiang. Xinjiang is actually closer to Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, physically and culturally. The Uyghurs have their own Turkic language, they have their own cultural music, dances, and have created a culture that is unique and authentic to them. China has perceived Uyghurs' separate ethnicity, culture and religion as a threat for decades. It's because the Chinese government can't control the region of Xinjiang. One of the reasons why China felt it was so important for them to have control over Xinjiang is because the area is so rich in energy resources. The Chinese government encouraged the Han Chinese population to move to Xinjiang. They offered them a wealth of employment opportunities. In 1949, the Han Chinese population made up only 6% of Xinjiang, with the Uyghurs making up 82%. But by 2008, the Han Chinese population made up 39.2% of Xinjiang, with Uyghurs only making up 40%. Uyghurs were not given access to the same employment opportunities as the Han Chinese. They were discriminated against in their own region because they spoke a different language. They were unable to gain higher paid employment opportunities. This caused a clear disparity of wealth between the two ethnic groups. And in 2009, the Uyghurs decided to take a stand. They held a small-scale protest against the Han Chinese and the Chinese government, campaigning for fairer job opportunities. But the protest quickly got out of hand. 200 people died and 100 people were injured, both Uyghurs and Han Chinese. But the Chinese government saw it as an opportunity to paint the Uyghurs as an extremist threat. This helped him to gain support for the implementation of highly discriminatory de-extremication policies against the Uyghur community in 2016 and 2017. These policies were wild and criminalised any association or engagement with Islamic activities. They made Uyghurs cut off their long beards, stop them from wearing burqas, knock down temples and mosques, and according to the Human Rights Watch police force, they actually used mobile apps to monitor Uyghurs' behaviour. They were tracking how much electricity they were using and how often they opened the front door. I have to take a minute here just to say how crazy this is. There is no evidence Uyghurs have ever committed an extremist attack. These are just claims made by the government, highlighting the clear corruption and genocide currently happening. But despite this, members of the government just continue to deny.
I do not know where you get this videotape.
This is what makes the next part so insane. In 2017, China started to build internment camps, which are large-scale prison facilities used to illegally detain Uyghurs. They frame them to the media as re-education centres because Uyghurs are such a threat. But in reality, the Chinese government has illegally detained 1 million Uyghurs. They're being forced to pick cotton every day, shave their heads, recite and learn the traditional Han Chinese language, and criticise their own Islamic beliefs. Chinese authorities are also systematically targeting Uyghur women in their 20s. A report by anthropologist Adrian Zen revealed that the Chinese government had planned for 80% of Uyghur women to have forced sterilizations or IUD placements by 2019. And it would seem their plan has worked, with the growth rates in the Uyghur community falling by 84%. This number continues to fall today. I mean, unsurprisingly, China has managed to turn their internment camps into a business opportunity, making products for Amazon, Apple and Microsoft. The UN have officially declared that China is committing genocide. It's led a lot of political leaders to call China out, and in some cases, cut ties with the country altogether.
You are now locked into Interconnected Voices.
Interconnected Voices.